Welcome. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight on our special health talk that we're focusing more on autoimmune diseases and just helping us understand that nutrition plays a really big role on just building a stronger immune system. And we're not claiming to cure any disease or cure a condition, but boy, let me tell you, when you give your body the proper nutrients that it needs, it's amazing how, our cells get to repair and regenerate and you start to feel better. And we have Maryellen, our holistic nutritionist, joining us this evening as well. And I think when she goes through some of the just key nutrients and what to look for in a supplement, I think we're going to have a better understanding why nutrition and food choices play such a big role in strengthening our immune system. And 30 years ago, over 31 years ago, I had a very, very weak immune system. Allergies, I was using antihistamines year round. I could not walk into a house with cats. I would stop breathing. And I got excited every time a new commercial would come on advertising a new antihistamine. That was kind of like my highlight of my night. But I have to say that all of those things that I did destroyed my gut and my digestive system. And we're going to help you understand, some of these drugs and medications, they might help to, kind of relieve some of the symptoms, but it can really cause damage down the road and cause other things to happen. And anyways, you're going to learn so much tonight. I'm so excited to share this information with you. And when you hear the stories and testimonials of people that are going to share their story and their journey tonight, it's going to give you a better understanding. So your immune system is your first line of defense against everything. Okay, so you got to make sure your immune system is up to par. And there's 3 pillars to your immune system. You have prevention, recovery, and healing. Okay, we're going to go through some of these stages, but some of the key nutrients that play a role in strengthening your immune system and supporting your immune system are phytonutrients. So these are plant nutrients, okay, stuff from your fruits and vegetables. Then you have your lipids and sterols, which are your good fats, your essential fatty acids. You have omega-3, which is like your fish oil, probiotics, which is your gut health, vitamins and minerals, and antioxidants that protect you from rusting from the inside out. So we're going to go into some of the products. But one thing I want to share with you is, a lot of people, even 31 years ago, I used to get this, well, I eat healthy, I get everything from my food. And when I heard the grain oil story from Neolife, it made me understand that I wasn't getting everything from my food. And Lancet released a recent study that talked about how it's what we aren't eating is actually killing us. And this was a global study done in over 190 countries, okay? So what is it that we're not eating enough of and why we're, struggling with our health is low whole grains, low fruit, nuts and seeds, low omega-3, low vegetables. So these are the things that we're just not getting enough of. But let's talk about whole grain, because our whole grains are no longer whole. They're milled, they're processed. They used to grow the wheat, grind the wheat, make the flour, make the bread. And the breads used to have a day shelf life. Now, how long do our breads last? How long do our cereals last? How long do our pastas last? Forever. They don't spoil, they don't go bad. It's because they've taken out the critical nutrients, so everything had a longer shelf life. The fiber, the oils from the germ, and all your vitamins and minerals, all your key nutrients, and you're left with this flour, white starch, protein, gluten. So really, there's nothing nutritious in those grains anymore. And now we're 3rd, 4th generation, and that's why we're seeing so many health challenges and people struggling with autoimmune diseases and so many other things. So Maryellen, when you're looking at what's happening to our food, maybe you can share a little bit some of the challenges we're having with our food.
Yes, that's so true, Nada, because my son had respiratory issues and his was triggered by allergies, which is an autoimmune disease. And I had allergies, and it often follows in families. So, but it's amazing, although we didn't cure, treat, or diagnose his issue, once we balanced his body out, it definitely made a difference. And some of the things that caused his overall, depletion of his immune system is what's going on in our soils, food processing, the fact that foods travel thousands of miles. And you think about our soils are only fertilized with like 3 minerals now, where it used to have more than 40. So it's definitely different than it used to be. And one thing I find with a lot of my clients that really affects their allergies or health is the genetically modified organisms known as GMOs. And what this means is that they've been crossed with the genes of a plant with another organism from a plant or an animal. And as you know, in Europe, they are not allowed. And a lot of people will say, I go home to Europe, I feel my allergies are gone, I feel fine, I come back here and boom, I'm right back out in it again. And this is one of the big reasons. So when you look at supplements, a lot of people think just because something's in a store, it's safe, it's going to work. But I tried a lot of products from health food stores and drugstores, and I didn't get any results. And probably the reason for this was based in this study that was from 2007 to 2016, where there were 776 products that contain hidden active ingredients that were unsafe or unstudied. So that's pretty scary. So you have to really trust who you're dealing with. And when I was introduced to Neolife, I was so impressed with the fact that they're based in nature, but they're backed by science. They have, they've been around since 1958. They've never had a dietary recall, a pharmaceutical license in over 50 countries. And they meet or exceed the health standards of all of those countries because they use food, right? They extract the nutrients from food, just like, because that's what our body recognizes. And that's why we get such good results with the products. And when people ask me, what do I look for in a supplement? I say the first thing you want to know is you want to find out what that product is made from. And a lot of products can be natural. Anything from the ground is natural, but that's not things that are in the human diet. Because as Nata referred to that study that was done in Lancet, what are we lacking? Whole grains, fruits and vegetables, wild salmon, right? That's what we need in our diets because they have a safe history of use. And every single Neolife ingredient, right? They track it right to the seed stock is non-GMO. So it's very, very safe. And the reason they have this high quality control, so you can be sure that 100% what's on the label is in the bottle and nothing else, but they go a step further to make sure what's in the bottle gets into the body. And that's because of the Scientific Advisory Board, which is founded by Dr. Arthur First, one of the top toxicologists in the world. He actually was the co-founder of oral chemotherapy. And when he was doing his research in cancer, he found nutrients in food prevent disease, not just cancer, but all degenerative diseases. And he set up our prestigious Scientific Advisory Board. And our products are actually independently tested and published in peer-reviewed journals, which is so important because everyone can have a great story, but you have to have really good science to back it up. And Nata, would you like to share how we can fill this gap in our diet with our foundation product called Pro Vitality?
So when we're looking at that Lancet study, Maryellen, and some of the nutrients that we're not getting enough of or eating enough of, what I love about this Pro Vitality, it kind of fills those nutritional gaps that are missing. And this Vitality pack has 30 packets, and every little packet has those grain oils, the fruits and vegetables, the fish, and a multivitamin. So I call this like a Cadillac of multis. So it's a great foundation, great support, and a great way to start a program, especially if you've never supplemented before. It's such a convenient way. And the tran grain concentrate are those lipids and phytosterols from whole grain that are gone. But guess what? Less gluten than a bowl of gluten-free cereal. And it was developed for a hospital research study. And it was proven to promote cellular energy and efficiency. And this was me. I thought, wow, this makes sense because here I am eating healthy. Why was I not benefiting from the food and the nutrients I was eating? Because the cells were not absorbing or utilizing the nutrients. So when you look at the cell, the membrane is made up of those grain oils, those lipids. Okay, they're the building blocks for cell membrane structure, nerve function, brain function, hormones. My hormones were so unbalanced because the nutrients weren't getting in and waste was not getting out. Whereas these oils, when you start supplementing with them, the membrane becomes soft and permeable. Nutrients can go in and waste can go out. And Texas A&M University, they did their own study and they proved that the Neolife tran grain concentrate, your cells will absorb 50% more of the nutrients from your diet. That's how people feel better, energy, mental clarity. And there's, only, how do you get these oils in your diet? Boy, when you look at the grains and the seeds that you'd have to grind and eat and make sure they're not rancid, it's a challenge. So, it takes over 550 calories, a freshly ground whole grain to make one tran. And you're getting one tran in that Vitality pack. And you can also buy it in this wonderful bottle. And that's how I started 31 years ago. So the other gap that Maryellen talked about or that we're sharing is the fruit and veggie gap, right? We're not eating the 13 servings of dark colored fruits and vegetables every single day. And carotenoids play a really big role in immune function, okay? The USDA proved Neolife's carotenoid complex will boost your immune system 37% in just 20 days. Published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and presented at the New York Academy of Sciences. So one of these capsules, after a month of taking 1 pack a day, is equivalent to consuming 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables in every box. Very difficult to do in just your diet alone. So eat your fruits and veggies, very important to prevent cancer. Again, supports immunity, helps us slow aging. And again, 9 to 13 servings is really hard. We tend to eat more sugary and processed foods and, snacky foods. So it's really, really important. So this is just a great way to fill the nutritional gap, because the carotenoids, the antioxidants, protect you from free radical hits. So it's like, I like to say, from rusting from the inside out. Okay, and because those the air and the oxygen, when you're breathing in all these chemicals and toxins, you are causing a lot of oxidative stress and oxidative damage. Then there's inflammation. This is one of the root causes of many diseases, especially many autoimmune diseases. And what's really nice about the Salmon Oil Plus in this pack, it has 8 omega-3s, not just EPA and DHA, tested for 200 contaminants with an allowance of 0. Many fish oils on the market, right on the label, says don't take if you're pregnant. So this is a pure, safe product, and it was clinically proven to reduce inflammation 68% in just 8 weeks. And I know there's a lot of research on exercise-induced asthma, because this helps to reduce inflammation. I have a lot of runners and athletes that say that this is one product that really helps them perform better if they have exercise-induced asthma, again, because it reduces inflammation. So when you're looking at anything fish, right, algae, I know Maryellen, as a holistic nutritionist, you see some other products out there that say they have omega-3s, and when you look at what the source that they're using, I don't know, I'd rather use something that's made from clean fish. And again, proven and has solid science to support this. Actually, I am going to now have Shelley. Shelley has an amazing testimonial of, so many of you met Rose. She used to come on and share her story and her journey, but Shelley is going to play Rose's story because hers is quite powerful.
Thanks, Nada. Yes, I'll just start it here and make sure it comes up.
Hi, I'm Rose Hamilton. I was diagnosed with MS in 1995. I've been struggling a lot with fatigue and constipation. One day I met Shelley at a gym and she introduced me to Neolife. I started on the Pro Vitality and the shakes, and I've noticed I have more energy. I could do more during the day, I sleep better, and my foggy brain is gone. Also, I have regular bowel movements. I plan to continue with the Neolife products to keep my body as healthy as possible. Thank you.
Rose is such a diehard, eh, Shelley? I know she's been struggling with MS for how many years now? Do you remember?
Oh, several years. And she just wants to do what she can naturally. She has not needed to go on meds, so is very happy with how she is feeling with the products.
Yeah, thank you so much. And now we're going to hear from Cyndy Hadley.
About 25 years ago with Neolife.
Sorry.
And I had been actually introduced to Neolife through your Aunt Noreen. And she knew how much I was suffering with pain from the neck down. And I actually suffered for 5 years. And she kept sharing with me, but I finally listened, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad she was persistent. But I started just very, very basic, kind of feel good program, but I added a lot of salmon, and within 3 weeks, I noticed my energy was coming back, but within a month and a half, the chronic pain I lived with for those 5 years was gone. And as I say, it's been 25 years. I'm heading into my 70s now, and I feel better than I did in my late 30s and early 40s. So I'm so grateful for what the products have done for me, and I certainly encourage everyone to try them for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Cyndy. I watched this journey, and you definitely are aging gracefully, and that's the power of good nutrition, and also good quality supplements. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yeah, if I can just add that is something I didn't mention. I was using other supplements, and I was going to doctors and chiropractors, and nothing was working until I switched to Neolife. So what can I say?
That's right. Quality is it. Thank you so much.
So that's, oops. There we go. There we go. So, so when you heard the inflammation, when you're looking at MS, when you're looking at fibromyalgia, so reducing inflammation is the key to healing. And again, the Neolife Salmon Oil Plus, not only was it proven to help your heart, cardiovascular disease, and cholesterol and triglycerides, the study that they published was, again, lowering the inflammatory index 68% in just 8 weeks. And this is why so many people get incredible results with healing. So then there's a multivitamin in this pack. So when you throw in this multivitamin, there you go. It's, again, a Cadillac of multis, all your vitamins and minerals. It has enzymes, so it helps with digestion. And again, just filling the nutritional gaps in your diet. So after 1 month, it's equivalent to consuming 12 pounds of whole grains, 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables, and 10 servings of omega-3 fish in every box. So when you look at all the benefits of this amazing product, again, by filling those nutritional gaps in our diet. And then when you add the protein shake, I think Rose mentioned the protein, adding it to this pack, this is where you have energy. And Maryellen, could you share a little bit about this amazing product?
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how powerful protein is for immunity. And when you add it with the Pro Vitality, you actually complete it. So it's a great way to start your day. And what makes the Neolife protein different? It has all 22 amino acids. It's biologically complete. It's just not, like the essential amino acids, because we need them all to produce enzymes, fight antibodies for infection and disease, to make hormones, for collagen in our skin. And this even controls your blood sugar level too. And we look what's inside, it's all natural. Like I see so many shakes out there and they have, artificial coloring and sweeteners. And this is, so safe. It's even safe for kids. And it has a very high protein quality score. So, it's absorbed 18 grams of protein. It's got fibers, vitamins and minerals, and whole food antioxidants, and it keeps your blood sugar steady. So it's a powerful product. And what's even more exciting is what's not inside. That's a picture of my granddaughters when they were younger, and I feel so safe, like even when they could start drinking from a sippy cup, there was no fear at all, and they're so healthy, and they've never been on antibiotics, and it really helps your body produce T cells, which is so important for immunity. And we've now introduced vegan protein. So for people who, do not want to do dairy or soy, or just want to add more plant-based foods into their diet, this is a great alternative to add to our shake program. And it's just like the Neolife shake. It has 18 grams of biologically complete protein. Most vegan shakes out there are not biologically complete. They only have pea protein. This has a blend. And it has 3 grams of the branched chain amino acids for muscles, 0 sugar, and it's GMO-free, gluten-free, and lots of vitamins and minerals. So it's a power pack thing. And for our kids, this is such a passion of mine because of course, I got started because of my own sons, but all my granddaughters are Neolife babies, and they've grown up on these products, and they've never been on antibiotics. You start with the Liquivite, which is a liquid. And a lot of people say, well, what's the difference between that and what you get in the store? The lipids and sterols that Nana talked about, those grain oils that feed the cells. It's in the Liquivite, and then when they get older, they can chew the VitaSquares and BETAGARD, and adding the shake to it is a great foundation program for kids. I've had so many kids who used to be sick all the time, and the parents thought, oh, it's just because they're at school or daycare, but they get on the products and they're so much healthier. And if they do get something, they get a sniffle for a day and fight it off. And that's what we want, not to get into the ear infections and the throat and all the other issues.
And I think, Maryellen, don't you think that sugar plays a big role? Because when you look at what children are eating for breakfast, a lot of our foods that are boxed are sugar, like a lot of your cereals, boxed things. And, when they replace it with that Neolife shake, getting that blood sugar in the glycemic control zone, I think, is key. And a lot of people don't understand that plays a really big role in our immunity and strengthening our immune system.
It shuts the immune system down, sugar for sure. And kids can eat with it, so you can mix it into their oatmeal or make them a smoothie bowl or have a shake with their breakfast, and instead of just eating carbs, which is again high sugar, right?
Yeah. And I love that, because when my kids were little, they would have a full breakfast and a shake. But then when they got into their teens, some teens, they don't want to eat breakfast. They just run out the door. They're rushing out the door, where this is very easy. They can shake it, drink it, and out the door. So definitely an amazing add-on for our young children as well. And I'm going to share this story here, because when I met Gabby, Mandy, many years ago, and she shared her son's story. And I just want to share with you that cystic fibrosis is not an autoimmune disease. It is a genetic disorder. So some people always ask me, well, can we help somebody that has a genetic disease? And I think any kind of nutritional support will play a big role in the quality of life. And this is where I was just my heart just exploded when she shared her story. So here you go.
I'm so excited to be here today with Mandy. We are at a retreat in North Carolina, and I heard your story today about your little guy, your little son Troy, and it was such a heartfelt testimonial. I really wanted you to be able to share it so we can share it with others and make a difference in people's lives.
Absolutely. I am pretty passionate about sharing if it will make a difference for somebody else. So my son Troy was born 3.5 years ago. Well, he'll be 4, December 30th. And he was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, and he has the type that affects both respiratory and digestive. He struggled he had failure to thrive for the first 2 years, and he was in and out of the hospital. And January 1st of this year, 2018, we decided we needed to make some major changes in our lifestyle, and so we put him on a regime of Neolife products because we just weren't willing to try other things that we couldn't know what was in the label, or being that they're pharmaceutically licensed makes such a big difference to us. So in the last, this is November, 11 months, he has had a total life transformation. He is thriving. His liver, which had been enlarged and sick since he was born, is now down to normal size, and his coloring is so much better. He's grown. He was below the growth chart. I'm going to tell you guys this part.
Oh, wow.
He was below the growth chart, and we put him on the Neolife protein, and he shot up within 3 months. He was in the 25th percentile.
Wow.
And he has not been sick yet. He's been sick once this year, in 11 months, which is truly miraculous. And but when he did get a cold, he went through it like a normal child. He cried one night a couple times because he couldn't breathe through his nose. But the rest of the time, he was fine, running, playing. His energy levels, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Because he had no energy before, and it was so sad to watch the little 2-year-old playing and running and then sitting down, or running and laying down and taking a break and trying to catch his breath. And now he's running with all the little kids and keeping up with the 5-year-olds. And
That's wonderful.
so it's been a total
and who
life
introduced
changer.
Who introduced you to Neolife?
So actually, well, my husband did.
Yes. Yay for husband.
But yes, they say if you love somebody, you give them Neolife, right?
Right.
But we heard about it through Dwight Johnson and Alan and Nicole Blaine.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
So there's the power, even
Appreciate it.
even when you have some of these genetic conditions, good nutritional support can just give the better quality of life. So Maryellen, I know we talked about the foundation, and then we have some targeted solutions.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some other add-on products that, again, I usually suggest starting with the basic program, but there is other things that help with immunity, and you've probably been hearing about a lot of these in the news and from people, because we want to really focus on building our immune system, because it is our first line of defense against autoimmune diseases, flus, colds, cancer, allergies, and asthma. So it's so important to keep that immune system strong. So what are the keys is to reduce inflammation and oxidation, because those are those evil twins of aging and disease. And we talked a lot about the inflammation with the salmon oil and the oxidation with the carotenoids, with the fruits and vegetables. And also our tray ties in with that as well. So, we do have to eat properly too. In the perfect world, this is what our pantry would look like, our fridge and pantry. We'd have lots of whole grains, fruits and vegetables. But, it's tough in North America because, we buy all our food and it sits in the fridge for a whole week. So even when we're eating the best of things, we don't get all the nutrients. But the reality is a lot of fridges look like this, especially in the colleges and our kids or people on a fast-paced lifestyle. They do not have the stuff that everything's processed, right? So they're not getting the nutrients that they need. So again, we can help by educating people to, even make a few small changes. And Nat, I want to ask you to come back and talk about the PHYTO defense, because that's such a powerful product.
This is definitely a powerhouse add-on to that breakfast pack, and it contains more of those dark colored fruits and vegetables that we should be eating every single day. And again, especially if you're dealing with a severe autoimmune disease, I've had some dear friends that added this to their pack, and the support they had from many diseases is amazing. And Daniel's story is what really inspired me when I saw this story with his alopecia. I mean, this young boy didn't have a single hair on his entire body. And when you hear his interview that's posted in one of our Facebook groups, it's just a beautiful story. And when he started taking or added that PHYTO Defense product that we talked about, as you can see, his hair started to grow back. And it did take time, okay? But boy, what a different life, right? The quality of life he has now. But he said, when he got to this stage, he thought, oh, I'm fine now, and stopped taking the PHYTO Defense. And that's when he noticed that his hair started to fall out again. So some autoimmune diseases, they constantly need that nutritional support. It's just the way his body's made. For some reason, his immune system is compromised. So this is a product he says he will never go without the PHYTO Defense, and it's just giving him a beautiful quality of life. So what's in the PHYTO Defense? Maryellen talked about the carotenoids, and we've shared this information, but flavonoids and cruciferous are some of the other variety of your dark colored fruits and vegetables. So and in this pack is from 25 different kinds of fruits and vegetables. Try doing that every single day, right? So it's a total serving of 6 servings in every box. And again, the carotenoids was proven to boost your immune system 37% in 20 days. It increases natural killer cells by 20%. This is very, very powerful. And it protects the fat portion of the cell. Then your flavonoids are all your water-soluble antioxidants, and they protect the watery portion of the cell. Water-soluble antioxidants, and again, improves immunity and protects you from many age-related diseases. And then cruciferous are your smelly vegetables when you cook them. All our favorites, I find, especially kids. I don't know, but I know my little guy never liked Brussels sprouts. But so they're your smelly vegetables, and this helps to detoxify the cell. And they say that you should be eating 1 serving of cruciferous vegetable every single day. Okay, so again, make it a goal. But again, this is just a great product to help to fill the gap. And then there's our tray, which is our antioxidant drink as well, that has all those amazing berries. Again, to fill those gaps in the diet. 1 ounce is a powerful, powerful antioxidant, provides 20 times the punicolagens of fresh pomegranate juice, and 5 to 10 times the resveratrol of red wine, 7 times the antioxidant power of red ripe tomatoes. So again, 1 shot, very, very potent. So another product that just really helps to strengthen the immune system. And then what's our challenge with vitamin D, Maryellen?
Yeah, that's such a big challenge. And, it's funny that you were saying about the 25 different fruits and vegetables, because I was listening to a nutrition conference and it said we should have 30 different fruits and vegetables every week. And when I told my granddaughter, she's like, I don't even like 30 different fruits and vegetables. Like it's impossible. But yeah, vitamin D is so important for our immune system. There's the first defense in your immune system is your innate immune system, which is that protects you from getting the virus in. And then the second is your adaptive, and vitamin D supports both of these. And the difference with the Neolife vitamin D, it's made from food. It's not from sheep wool or lanolin. It's from mushrooms and reindeer lichen, which is all whole foods. Your body absorbs it. And I know I've had a lot of clients who start taking it and their vitamin D levels start balancing out. So it's a great product. And zinc too, you're hearing a lot about this in the news. And the difference with the Neolife zinc, it's double amino acid chelated, which you say, what does that mean? It means you absorb it 5 times more. So it's a high purity, potency, and lots of studies show the key relationship between zinc and immunity, very, very important. And also things that we know enhance our immune system are garlic and allium foods. The problem, a lot of the garlics out there, they take the smelly part out, which is the allicin, which is the most important. But you need garlic in these vegetables for immune responses, gastrointestinal health. It kills bacteria in your gut. Very, very important, and yeast and stuff. And vitamin C too, a huge immunity booster. And it also helps your body absorb iron. And, you know, guinea pigs and humans are the only animals that don't produce vitamin C in the body. So we have to take it through supplementation and our diet, of course. And the difference with the Neolife vitamin C, it's high purity, high potency. It has all the bioflavonoids. That's everything that's in the orange, you know, the white pithy parts. You get everything except the water. And one of our all-see is like 4 tree-ripened oranges in every single tablet. Tastes good. Kids love to chew it. And it really is absorbed and utilized very well. And a big product for, you know, toxins and allergies and autoimmunity is our BETAGARD. It was developed by Dr. Arthur First. And, you know, especially a lot of cancers are linked to environmental toxins, but so are allergies too. And pollutants can, you know, contribute to heart, kidney disorders, emphysema, liver disease, so many issues. So this actually pulls those toxins out. Dr. First developed it as an antidote to chemotherapy, but it pulls all heavy metals out of the body. And when would you use this? Well, if you've ever been exposed to toxins, which you know all of us are exposed every day when we go outside, and it's very good for after chemotherapy too.
Yeah, this is the product, Maryellen, when I added this to my regime with the gut health that we're going to talk about, this is where my allergies were completely under control. And here we go. Here's the healthy gut part.
Yep. And you know, 80% of our immune system is in our gut. And because of all the additives to our foods and hormones and toxins, our guts are really not the way they used to be. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we do to improve digestion? Well, add a lot of raw foods to your diet, very helpful. Chew your foods well. The beta-adjustin enzymes are great because they actually, you know, they, instead of just masking the problem and, you know, like stopping the acid in your stomach, they actually put the right acid in your stomach. And it's just made from beets, and the enzymes help with bloating and gas because even as we get older, we produce less enzymes. If you have blood sugar issues, you definitely do not produce enzymes in your pancreas. So they're very, very important, and you just feel so much better. You can tell when you eat, you're absorbing your food. And we have a great 3-day detox that's so simple to do. And you just eat fruits and vegetables and take the products in the detox box. And again, it dumps the sludge, it gets rid of the toxins. It's very simple to do. And it has the Neolax, the BETAGARD we talked about, and the garlic. So it flushes out the system, and then you add back the probiotics to put the good stuff back in. As we mentioned, it's only 3 days. The first 2 days, you eat all of the fruits and veggies you want, so you're not starving like a lot of detoxes. Then the 3rd day, you add the protein shake for breakfast, and you eat a lean protein at dinner. So it's a really simple program. And Nada, would you like to share some of the benefits of those probiotics? Because the probiotic is in the detox as well, but it's also good. Something I take every single day.
Yeah, me too. This was a definite add-on, especially all the antihistamine use, and it just destroys all that good live bacteria, which then suppresses the immune system even more. So probiotic, and it is part of our 3-day detox. And in the 3 days, you continue, I think, up until day 7 to increase the probiotics. So it just plays such a big role, and it does help to strengthen the immune system. You know, there's also a lot of research about kids reducing allergy symptoms. right? They find that it really helps them, and it helps to just reduces that bacterial growth. So there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. So you want to make sure that good bacteria continues to grow. And again, there's so much research on helping to reduce the risk of colon cancer. Very, very important. And again, just supports healthy colon health, helps to improve digestion, so regularity. There's a lot of people out there that have issues with dairy. It just helps to improve overall digestion. And I have a lot of people now, they have very mild allergies to some of these foods that they have sensitivities or allergies to. And the Neolife Acidophilus, one of the biggest differences is it's enteric coated, gel guard protection. It bypasses the stomach acid and gets to the intestine. So it gets to where it needs to get to. So even though there's only 5 billion live bacterial organisms, boy, it's pretty powerful. So the benefits are absolutely incredible. And I'm going to have Laurie share her story. Now, this is when she was, I think, 4 or 5 years into her program. It's now over 25 years that she's been on the products. And this is her original testimonial.
Hi, my name's Laurie Bateau, and I've been with GNLD for 18 years. I've been taking the products. 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and I was prescribed a medication to stop the progression of the disease. Unfortunately, that medication, after several months of taking it, destroyed my digestion, burnt my esophagus to the point where I was suffering terribly. NADA put me on the vitamin A and aloe. Within a week, it already started repairing. I noticed a huge difference. Within a month, I was absolutely doing fabulous. I noticed a huge difference in the absorption of all the other products that I was taking. My energy levels were going up. My arthritis was way better than it had been because the salmon oil and the full motion were actually working instead of my digestion wasn't really digesting. So I just want to say thank you to NADA for introducing me to GNLD, and I hope that we can help you with our testimonies. Hi, my name's Laurie Bateau.
So GNLD is Golden Neolife Diamond. If you're wondering, some of the newcomers, Neolife is part of that GNLD logo that sometimes you see on our stuff. But and Laurie later did introduce some of the probiotic and some of the other products, and that was her beginning journey. And I think about a year after being on the program, completely medication free. Now she will always have the disease, and I want you to understand that some of these autoimmune diseases, they don't go away, but when you strengthen the immune system, you can live your life without even knowing you have some of these conditions. So more manageable, and just giving the body the nutritional support that it needs. And there's also another aspect to allergies and autoimmune diseases is you got to reduce your toxic load. So, stop using some of these toxic cleaners that can really cause havoc on your immune system. And Neolife was one of the first companies to go green in 1958. So these are the only cleaners I have in my home. They smell wonderful, and they do a great job, and they're very inexpensive. So just a wonderful way. I'm actually going to have Sarina. She's going to share her daughter's story because she has a very powerful testimonial as well. So Sarina.
Hi there. This is Jaden, actually in Dominican when she's in her nursing schooling. But growing up as a child, she always had tummy issues, and into her later teens, she started having some really long bouts of constipation, pardon me, very uncomfortable, bloating, and would go sometimes a week at a time without going to the washroom. And, she tried different things that her doctor recommended, but things would work a little bit, but then they wouldn't work anymore. So she did also start developing some joint pain where she would wake up in the morning with sore shoulders, and her knees would be sore throughout the day. And even to the point where she couldn't hold her toothbrush or her hairbrush first thing in the morning. So she was actually referred to a neurologist for some testing done for carpal tunnel, and which she did have some mild carpal tunnel due to acrobatic dancing. And the neurologist thought, though, that she had some arthritis going on as well. And it wasn't until we were introduced to Neolife through a very good friend of mine that Jaden started a probiotic, the Acidophilus. She started doing regularly bowel movements. And we were educated that the immune system, or sorry, the digestive system plays a big role in your immune system, and that her joint discomfort was most likely because of her poor digestion. And so she did start on some salmon oil as well. And now she's a working nurse, and she has no joint pain. She's very regular. And we're just so incredibly thankful for the Neolife products helping her get through that period of time. It was a real struggle. So very thankful.
Thank you so much, Sarina, for sharing Jaden's story. I know she's pretty excited about her journey. One thing I want to cover, I know, Sarina, you asked the question about the gluten and celiac disease, because I know that's another autoimmune disease. And Shelley, you have a customer or a client that has no problems with the Tran-N and the grain oils. Do you want to maybe share a little bit of that? Because I know some people have some issues with that.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, Sandra, she's been using the products for years now. Actually started off with the carotenoids, found that to be a really great way of boosting her immune system, and then just kept building from there. She is very, very sensitive as a celiac, but now is able to do the Formula 4, is able to do the Pro Vitality, and has been able to get off of her meds as well. Yeah, so she's very pleased with how she's feeling, and has been able to share it with her family, because some of her kids are also either sensitive or celiac as well. So yeah, very, very wonderful addition to what they use at home for sure.
So that's as an example, is she will always have celiac.
Yeah.
It won't go away. But you can, the quality of life is there. She's feeling better. She's able to digest her foods better, right? So again, just giving the body the proper nutrients that it needs, right, to work properly, or to work as best as it can, even though she has the disease and has the conditions. So thank you so much for sharing, Shelley. Really appreciate that. There's other things that play a role. You got to look at your lifestyle, right? The stress in your life. And, if you're not exercising, find something you like to do and do it. Okay. Meditation, positive thinking, journaling, prayer. There's so many things that you can do. One of my favorites is watching happy movies, nice chick flicks, not some of those things that are on that make you depressed, right? The ones that make you laugh, and also something that can really fester is if there's a lot of anger, and you have people in your life that you haven't forgiven, and so it's so important just to let things go and release things, because you don't want that festering within you. Okay, enjoy nature. And get away for periods of time, without electronics. I think that's a huge, huge challenge for many, especially our kids today. So these are just some of the things that you can do as well. And then look at your food, look at eating more fruits and vegetables. I know sometimes it's hard to find a lot of organic, or it's, could be costly, but wash it. Wash your fruits and vegetables in our light duty cleaner. Amazing how your fruits and vegetables just taste so much better. And drink only filtered water. This is so important. There's a lot of chemicals and chlorine and things in our water that you do not want to be ingesting, especially if it sits in plastic for too long. Again, avoiding sugar, like Maryellen talked about. And some people have to look at dairy, because it can cause an allergy, because of the mucus can cause inflammation. And if you're eating meat, eat as clean as you can. And then look at some of your plant proteins, and again, alcohol in moderation, or none at all. It depends on, how serious your condition is. Okay. So when you're looking at the Neolife products, we talked about a lot of products, but you heard Rose Hamilton's story. Started with Pro Vitality and added the shakes. And she's getting great results. So, starting with something as simple as a breakfast pack is a great foundation. And then if you're wanting to increase, and if you're struggling with some severe autoimmune diseases, then you can add other things as you go along. And that's what's so wonderful about the products, because they're made from whole food, you can do that. So how do you get a hold of these amazing products? Well, You can join our wellness club for free. As soon as you join, you automatically get a 25% off your retail price. And when you set up a NeoShip, so for example, that Vitality Pack or the breakfast pack is a month's supply. So when you set that up coming every month, you get wholesale price. And you get all your shipping back in 6 months, and you can spend it on other products. You can also get your 3 for free, which means if you refer 3 people, you get your health pack free, which is so wonderful. And these are the health solutions that Neolife has. So we talked about the Vitality Pack. The breakfast pack is definitely the most popular pack because it has a month's supply of the protein. And that's definitely our bestseller. And then we have a weight loss pack for those of you that are looking at shedding a few more pounds. But again, the best energy fill day is definitely starting with that amazing breakfast pack. And when you refer 3, you get your health pack free, which is so exciting. There is a group on Facebook called the Neolife Healthy Living Community with over 8,000 members. So many stories. People post stories and testimonials in this group that just help you understand that, how good nutrition and how proper supplementation can just really give you better quality of life. And we have to add you to this group. So you have to become Facebook friends, and then we can add you to this Facebook group, and you can take a look at some powerful testimonials that are shared. And then there's one more option. I mean, some of you know I was working as a police officer in Toronto, and I thought that was going to be my career for the rest of my life, but I realized I wanted time freedom. And if you and someone you know really just enjoys helping others, I found this was such an easy business to get involved in because I was really having an impact and impacting people's lives. So if you like that aspect of having a difference or making a difference and generating part-time income, if you're just looking at $100 or $200 or $500 a month part-time, we can help you do that. If you're looking at generating greater income, definitely forms a great foundation. So for those of you that are just looking at using the products, getting a discount, earning a little extra money, or if you have more questions, that's okay. Just look to the person that invited you here tonight and just turn to them, and they can help you and guide you in the right direction. And we're going to stop the recording and open up to questions for those of you that have some questions over what you heard this evening. And I want to thank Maryellen and Shelley and all of you that have shared your amazing testimonials tonight. And I know it's going to have an impact in people's lives. So thank you again for joining us tonight. Sorry, there we go. Stop recording. There we go.